Hey, there we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Osmo.com Live Before Lock show, where we'll be discussing every MLB team in the league playing, players getting traded left and right, pitchers maybe not starting who were very important and highly ranked. So lots of fun stuff to deal with today. I'm Chris Spags, joined by a hatless Mr. Josh Engelman, the Chubster himself. How are you doing, Josh?
I'm pretty good. I got a fresh cut today, so I'm letting my hair flag fly, I guess.
Yeah, that haircut definitely says I'm a freak, and everybody knows it.
I figured that's what I was going for. That's what I said when I sat in the chair. They were like, "What are you looking for?" I was like, "I want a haircut that says I'm a freak, and I want to let everyone know it. I want to let everyone know what kind of animal I am."
A reference that many people in the chat won't get, but hopefully those of you who do appreciate that. It's Friday. We are going to have the man himself, Awesemo, Mr. Alex Baker, on today in about a little bit more than 5 minutes. So he'll be talking through his article, which is available for premium members on Awesemo.com, where he breaks down the likelihood of each stack succeeding. So keep an eye out for that. We'll talk to him about more of the slate. Lots of games, lots of games. Let's talk weather up front real bad, since we already have people talking about weather before we even started the stream. What games are you fading tonight for weather reasons, young Josh?
So I dropped my projections on the Rays-Orioles game to 80% of max, which is essentially pulling everything from them. I'll have one individual Rays stack and one individual Orioles stack. But unfortunately, the guy that I like the most today, Chris Archer, is now a guy that I'm not going with. Between just the weather itself and the note that came out that the Rays might turn this into a bullpen game and not use Archer, I'm just staying away. It doesn't seem like a spot for me.
Yeah, I was fortunately just out on Archer most of the day anyway because of the weather concerns. So not an adjustment I have to make. But I guess let's talk a little bit before we have Alex on about the pitchers who are shaking out to be the top owned guys of the day. Obviously, a couple of very expensive elite pitchers up front, but the only one who seems to be grabbing ownership, according to our projections for premium members, is Chris Sale. What are you doing with Sale? What are you doing with Scherzer? What are you doing with Kershaw? What are you? I don't know, Bumgarner. How many guys do you want to list? What are you doing with all of them?
So I've got 33% Scherzer, 34% Sale right now on DK. I'm a little bit heavier on Scherzer on FanDuel because he is significantly cheaper. So he's just kind of in a better spot. Let me dump these FanDuel ownership projections in. I had them backwards and it was fucking things up. There we go. I'm fading Kershaw. I'm fading Carrasco. Most of that's just with the public. Nobody's on these guys either. I'm way underweight on Greinke. So I've got a little bit of Madison Bumgarner, but that's pretty similar to the field. I'm actually barely paying up for pitching. I've still got a decent amount of Luke Weaver. I have an overwhelming amount of Ivan Nova, tons of Chase Anderson, decent bit of Desclafani and Perdomo. So basically it's just Scherzer, Sale, and then a bunch of the scrap heap.
To be clear, I gave a thumbs down to DeSclafani, my least favorite, my arch enemy, I think, in terms of pitching. I don't like him, and he's going against my boys, the Phillies, who were great last night. If you we mentioned this on the stream yesterday before it actually happened, but one of the things that I fortunate enough to put into writing and pointed out was the Phillies yesterday going versus Cincinnati and had the likelihood of them going off against Tyler Mahle, given how terrible he is. DeSclafani's similarly terrible, and he keeps getting a ton of ownership, and it drives me nuts because it doesn't make sense to me, especially on a large slate. So I hate DeSclafani. You mentioned Carrasco real fast and blew by him. I like Carrasco a lot, and especially because he's low owned. Going against the Tigers, who have even more strikeouts than usual in their lineup, and Carrasco getting a ton of movement on his balls.
You good there, man? You catch yourself on your own joke?
That caught me off guard. We're getting a ton of swinging strikes lately, so I think that I think Carrasco is actually a very good play and one that is getting way too overlooked.
Hey now,
sorry, it just gave me the giggles in a way I was not prepared for. But Carrasco I think looks really good, and I'm surprised he's being so overlooked. I get there are better pitchers. Carrasco's a little more volatile, gets rocked, but he's shown 40-point upside in his last couple outings. And he's going against a shit team, so why not? Why not Carrasco?
Clap it up for Dylan C dropping the phrasing in chat.
It's a tough phrasing situation there, but we move forward. Yeah, what other cheap pitchers? I guess you mentioned Chase Anderson, another guy who we project a fair amount of ownership to. I like Marcus Stroman a little, who's a little more expensive, but also I would say, cheap relative to the expensive guys. What other pitchers are jumping out to you, let's say under 8K, as being guys you want to have a lot of?
Luke Weaver, Ivan Nova, Anderson, and Desclafani. Luis Perdomo. Those are my 5. I've got like 15 to 20% of all 5 of those guys.
Why Perdomo? Just a value play and the strikeouts on the Diamondback side?
Yeah, 4,200 in Petco. That's basically it.
Okay. I can live with that explanation.
Yeah, like it's really not as interesting as it seems. He's better than 4,200, and that park makes you better than 4,200 just sort of by default.
And a fair amount of strikeouts on the Diamondback side as well. So if you are going to go with him, I don't think he's a great pitcher. He has, I believe, the worst whip on the slate. Gives up 1.6 almost, walks and hits per innings pitched. But going against the Diamondbacks, who strike out 24.3% of the time, they're not that good versus a righty. So I think it's an okay logic point to go there. Logic point is not a phrase. Jake's home run pick. Hey, Zach, we all have home run picks. Screw you.
Yeah, but only 2 of them really matter.
Shut up.
Wait, did you get one last night?
You know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I did or didn't. Because you know what? Like, you took a guy with the same first name on the same team and he happened to hit a home run. That's basically like I got a home run.
I'm better at picking Mats than you, man.
I don't want any Mats. You're a Matt. You're a doormat.
Probably true.
Yes, no Asdrubal Carrera for the Mets tonight. He just got traded to the Phillies. No Eduardo Escobar, who got traded to the Diamondbacks. So those guys are out of the lineups tonight. So if you had him in any of your stacks or whatever, do not do that. Get them out. Jake got the bomb. But yeah, wait until the home run picks. We'll do them at the end of Osimo's segment. Also, I guess, Josh, if you want to bring up Alex, might now
Dude, we get to 6:15 so quickly.
Well, we also started kind of late.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
This has become a show that starts at 6:05 instead of 6 o'clock.
Well, we go to 7:15, so right.
True.
There goes Specs. Boop, gone. Disappeared.
Yeah, we'll do home run picks at around 3:30, 3:28, 3:30, somewhere in that range. So that's what you're here for, because you're a degenerate who's trying to ride the hot streak of the various people in play who are not me. Go for it. We'll do those later. The sweet sounds of Skype in the background. Is that Alex?
He's on his way, at least.
All right. How's it going, Alex? I think we're moving him on camera now, but this is the founder of Osimo.com, at OsimoDFS on Twitter and Instagram, Mr. Alex Baker. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're good. It's Friday, so you can't complain. How are you doing? How are your lineups shaking out? We saw you have your top stacks article today. If you're a premium member on Osimo.com, go check it out now. It breaks down all of the likelihood of each stack being the top one today. What were the takeaways you got from that article that you feel like are worth sharing for free? Don't give them the whole thing. Just give them a taste, much like crack cocaine. What do you feel are the best plays from that you picked up?
Well, I think today is really fun because it's 15 games. That means there's so many different teams that could score like 15 runs. You never know exactly which one it's going to be, but you know you're going to have them. So I think you got to go for the guys that have low ownership, because when that happens, you want to have the best chance to win. Based on the ownership projections, the last time I looked at them, I noticed Coors Field today is very low owned because the players are priced up. That means they're not going to pop up people's optimizers. But it's one of those situations where you can spend up a little bit, be contrarian, and then you sacrifice a little bit of pitcher, you get some more contrarian guys instead of going sell. So I think that's a good play.
Yeah, you mentioned the Rockies. I agree with that. Our Arenado in particular has just been mashing every single lefty bases, getting on base a crazy amount, isolated power above 400 as well. I think he has the best WRC plus on the slate. So, yeah, definitely a spot people should be looking. Who else do you feel like is going a little under-owned? Colorado seems like an obvious point that people are missing, but what's a less obvious one that jumped out to you?
Wow, you're asking all the right questions today. So the one that jumped out at me was Arizona. I noticed they're only 1% owned, but they have a team total almost 5. And I think their players aren't very high on either. So I think that they're a really good option tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, Josh loves Luis Perdomo, and that alone should put people on to the Diamondbacks. Josh is good at picking home runs, not great at picking pitchers.
Dude, I won a tournament the last 2 days.
Uh-huh. I'm sure you did, Josh. Sure you did. Always bragging about your victories. That's what you're known for.
I mean, today and yesterday, for sure.
Alex, we're talking a little bit more about stacks, but pitchers, obviously, another thing people are going to have a lot of trouble with tonight. A couple of the high-priced guys. What are you doing with the super expensive pitchers up top who are clearly the best, but maybe easy to fade on a slate with this many options?
Yeah, I think there's so many good options tonight with like Sale and Scherzer. Kershaw, I think, is kind of overpriced, so he's not really in play based on his current year stats are not as good as previous years. Matchup is tough. I think Sale is probably the top play. He's the highest owned too. In general, I think people overanalyze that a little bit, whether they're going to fade or play them, because pitchers are like some of the more consistent players on a slate. I find in my calculations it doesn't really make or break your lineup whether you take a top guy or if you pick some more contrarian plays that are lower priced, or I guess there are probably some chalky plays that are cheap too.
And then what are you doing for, I guess, obviously, if you're not as married to playing the top pitchers on the slate, what are you doing with some of the cheaper guys? Which are the ones who you have some degree of trust for? Obviously, if they're cheaper because they're more volatile. But which are the guys that you feel like, or let's say I'm asked Josh the same question, under 8K, who you feel the most comfortable with rostering at high volume?
Well, I was thinking about Luis Perdomo until about 5 minutes ago, and now I'm going to X him out.
Come on.
I agree. If Josh picks it, you just can't go with it. He only knows home runs. He only knows dongs, that Josh character.
All right, let me get some actual picks for you guys. So, I actually noticed on FanDuel that it's like really interesting because there's guys at some different salary levels. So, top price, Scherzer definitely in play, but or I guess the top price guy's Sale, and that makes Scherzer a little bit better value on FanDuel, or on DraftKings. Sale is better. But Archer definitely top play if he's going to pitch tonight. It's one of those situations where you're going to have to pay attention to Twitter, kind of keep up with the details. I think the game is the first one on the slate, so you should know before lock, which will make it easier to kind of switch them out. It's possible it's going to be a rain delay. I think I looked at the radar. It doesn't look very scary beyond the initial batch of rain. So I'm not going to be fading that game entirely. It's only going to be whether I play Archer or not. And then cheap guy I like is Anthony DeSclafani. He's only like
Yes.
5,900 on FanDuel. Yeah, I know you just said that he's one of those guys that is going to get like super high ownership. But when you play that little first pitcher on FanDuel, that kind of gives you the opportunity to fit in those scores bats that people might not be on as much because they're like hard to fit in.
Boom.
Yeah. Whatever, Josh. Who, I guess you mentioned a bunch of pitchers there. Are there any that jump out to you as guys you're staying away from entirely, or at least majority so?
I haven't done as much research in the pitchers. But the one fade I did notice was Kershaw, just because he's like so expensive. It's not a great matchup. I would, if it was last year, I'd totally lock him in. But I think there's just like too many other good plays as tier.
That's fair. Our boy Noah Rosen, who I would call our Jewish weather nana, who loves asking about weather concerns. Asking about the main games tonight, but I guess what's your approach? We've talked about it before and how you handle weather, but what are you doing for the games tonight in particular? And I guess what's your overall view on how to handle weather as there are some kind of concerns as you get closer to lock?
So in general, I agree with Josh's take from a few minutes ago that you discount some players if you think there's weather concerns. I think you mentioned 20% in the Baltimore game. I'm a little bit more bullish on that game playing because I think the radar looks good to me. But like the other night, I thought there was like a 50-50 chance Baltimore and Boston would play, so I faded it entirely just because it's kind of a parlay where you need to have the guys play and do well. That's not usually the best situation.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I learned that they get zeros this week, so that was fun. I assumed that they got whatever they got. Like, if you grab the food off the table, you still ate the food. That's how I would have assumed it went. But an important life lesson.
I mean, that's always the worst because it feels like you're having your winning taken away from you. I remember when I learned that lesson. I'd been playing for like months, but there was some like San Diego game. It never gets rained out there, so everyone was on Andrew Kashner this day or something, which is kind of ridiculous to think about now. But he was like on fire. He had like 19 points after like 4 innings. Of course, you know what that means. After 4, doesn't count.
That's the worst.
Close but no cigar for that one. People asking about the Yankee game, another game with some weather concerns. I assume you're not concerned about that one as much as you are the Tampa Bay Baltimore game.
It hadn't really like popped on my radar, so I'd have to go look at the information again. But yeah, I don't really have an answer for that one.
Let's see. A lot of people asking about. Actually, I think I forget if Lorenzo's a woman or not. Sorry, Lorenzo. I think Lorenzo actually is a guy, but Lauren is a woman. Asking about Chase Anderson. You mentioned DeSclafani. Chase Anderson, right there, price wise, right there, ownership wise. You're not as bullish on Chase Anderson in San Francisco.
Actually, I do think Chase Anderson is a good play. I think the ownership's pretty high relative to other pitchers and DraftKings in our projections. So that could be one reason to be cautious, but overall, a good value play.
A question about you playing Lucroy the other night. I think Andrew, our guy in the live stream chat, also played Lucroy the night and felt pretty good about himself, if I recall. He asked, why'd you play Lucroy versus Tamils the other night? Was it purely, I assume it's not his BVP, but the night he had the Grand Slam, what drove you to play him? I assume just variance and the chance that it would be the bottom of the stack?
It's just kind of a price play, I think, where he's been priced like super low recently, which when there's a high team total, that means the guys at the bottom of the order are going to have more opportunities to bat, so it might not be as bad as you might expect, batting like 8.
There you go.
Also, catcher is going to be a very unique position. We talked about it a little bit this morning. After the top level catchers, there's just a lot of crap, and if it's coming along as part of a stack, you're kind of just getting him because you have 4 guys of the team already. At least in my experience.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if you want to stack your catcher because you want that guy who's just getting the most plate appearances because all of them kind of suck. So that gives him the best chance of getting something.
Host Golden is asking, I feel like he asked this before, but while we have you here, nobody knows a big stakes tournament more than you do. Host Golden won a massive ticket, has no idea how to build just one lineup. What would you do? What's the advice you would give?
So I think if you have one lineup, you want to kind of create some system for evaluating the best pitchers and stacks. You can use our grades and ownership. Today, I did the breakdown, so you can use that. If you have one lineup, it's a simple process. Just take it all and come up with your best pick of our premium stuff. It's when you make 150 that gets tricky because then you can't play the same guys every time. You gotta mix it up. You don't want to have too many lineups that are the same in your tournament. So yeah, I think if it's just one, pick some guys that you think are good plays based on the grades and ownership.
Let's see, a 3-3-1-1 stack on FanDuel. Is that something you would do on a 15-game slate for a single entry tournament?
I don't really recommend it. I think that the chance of a one-off having a big day isn't all that high. So you really want to get the right stacks. That'll give you the best chance of the correlation and with 15 games. I don't think there's too much worry about overlap because there's so many different possibilities.
And Calvin Nelson asking, of course, we are one of, if not the only site on the internet that does late slate ownership projections and all of that. Calvin Nelson's asking, what pitchers would you go with on a late slate of 10 p.m. games on FanDuel tonight?
Oh man, I have not looked at that at all. But let me let me just take a look at what I got here.
I just wanted to get a plug in for premium. We are the only site on the internet that has that. So I thought it was a good one. Trying to make it work.
With a 3-game slate, you can be a little bit more chalky. I think obviously Bumgarner and Anderson, those are probably the top plays. And then Greinke is kind of a wild card, and Heaney, he's going up against Seattle. So even though he's a pretty good pitcher, I don't think that's a very good matchup. So I'll probably not be playing him as much.
Yeah, Heaney pretty bad versus righties. Seattle has all their best hitters are righties, so I agree. I would be more inclined to stack Seattle for the late slate than go with that. Alex, last time you were here, you did get a home run pick correctly. You have the best rate despite Jake and Josh's recent success. They want to tout all day, but you do have a 500% hit rate or a 50% hit rate, 500 batting average.
Jake going for the slam today. He has one Monday through Thursday right now. He's got the Tiger Slam going. He had one last Friday too, so he's got five straight weekdays.
So yeah, that Jake very impressive, but still not 50% overall. So Alex, who would be your home run pick to close out your segment for the week?
Oh man, I need to prepare better for this. I think give me someone out of Colorado. Who's in their lineup today? Actually, Coors isn't the best for home runs, but that's the stack I'm recommending. I will go with Trevor Story.
Ooh, all right.
I thought you were going to go with Arenado, who was number 1 in my model today, and I was just going to be like, here we go.
Funny coincidence. I'm going to go with Nolan Arenado.
You coward. You coward.
Yeah, Josh, you shouldn't say he's number 1 in your model before we all pick.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
He was number 1 in my model.
I didn't think he would be such a yellow coward about it.
Fuck you. I'm going to do your move and pile on.
Well, Josh, which Rocky are you picking?
I can't pick a Rocky now, can I? Do I have anybody else? You know what? I will do it. I'll take Ian Desmond.
Ooh, okay.
Watch this happen now.
I'd rather take Desmond from Lost.
So would I, because I would get to be friendly with Penny.
Oh, my dog's name is Penny. That all works out well. Well, thank you, Alex, for tuning in. Any parting words before you let you go and tend to your many lineups you have to do to keep us employed and paid?
Well, thanks everyone for watching, and definitely looking forward to what we're building here, especially NFL coming up. We're going to be having some stuff. I know that you've been working on those videos, so check them out and the articles. Also going to be start work on my rankings, so you can start building your DraftKings lineups for week 1. So that'll be something to stay tuned for.
There we go. That's all from the man himself, Awesemo, Mr. Alex Baker at AwesemoDFS on Twitter and Instagram. Go follow him. Thanks, Alex, for coming on. We'll have you on, I think, next Wednesday. So that'll be good. We'll miss you until then, boss.
All right, thanks, guys.
Later, boss.
All right, see you, Alex.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the man himself at AwesemoDFS again. Go follow him. Go give him some followers. But yeah, we do love the man. He is a certified fantasy sports millionaire and very smart and good at this thing. So hopefully you guys are glad to have had him be a part of the show today. Make sure to become a premium member. Get all his articles. Alex is writing every day now for us and putting different views on each slate. So make sure to go check those out. Become a premium member for our MLB. Definitely get in. We're going to have early bird specials for NFL very, very soon. So keep an eye out for that. Zach's 27314 is being a real cunt today. You're getting on the shit list, buddy. But we have the picks. We're waiting for Jake's pick now. Everybody's picking Colorado. Where's Jake, the baseball savant, Hari, going to go? We'll find out.
I can't believe you took Arenado, you piece of shit.
Because he picked Story. I'm not. Listen, if the boss is going to set that as the bar, I'm going to the bar. I'm done with this pride-based shit. I'm not getting cute.
Of course you're not. Tampa Bay, Baltimore delayed. I don't know if you saw Jake say that.
I did see that, but whatever.
Fucking shit.
I feel good about it. I love Arenado today and Story. Not so much Desmond.
I should have took somebody from the A's. Different, but now I just really want Ian Desmond to go yard and really spite you.
I want Jake to pick somebody from that game too, because he's got nobody else good. Oh, Gleyber Torres, the baseball savant's pick is in, going to the Yankee game, going against Kansas City. So there you go. Jake
For
Hari.
the perfect week. Drum roll. Is it gonna come? No, probably not.
No, probably not.
Where do I have Torres at?
5 in a row, though. That is
Torres.
He's not number one. I'll tell you that much.
He's number 124.
Ooh, Jake Hari digging deep, going to the Spags territory.
That's a B-side right there.
Do you want to? We talked about this offline, but do you want to tell people real fast what the home run model is, so people can maybe try to emulate their own?
Oh, yeah, I guess. I mean, it's mostly just
like in general terms.
Yeah, it's essentially just each player's home run rate adjusted for the opposing pitcher's home run rate, along with league average reliever home run rate, and then tweaked a little bit for ballpark.
And Jake's is just a better version of that.
Yeah.
So there's a chance this might be out on the website at some point soon, but a lot of people ask about it. So, that's what to look at if you are trying to make these picks for yourself.
By all accounts, if somebody has a 7% home run rate, I'm just making this up, and they're facing a pitcher that has a 2% home run rate, I'm multiplying them both together and dividing by the league average home run rate. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. I'm just going to say 5.5, but I know that's high. So when I do that, without adjusting for ballpark or handedness or anything yet, you would get a number. This would be 0.025. So I would expect a home run in 2.5% of plate appearances. Adjust that for the amount of plate appearances in a particular game. You'll get the amount of quote-unquote expected home runs.
There you go. It's been working well for Josh. Jake's is also working. Jake's is similar to mine, but Jake's been doing it better. The one issue that I have with the home run thing, and we've talked about it a few times in passing here, I don't prepare in advance, and then I always panic a little whenever we do this because it's stressful. It's stressful to put the pick out there and then have it go wrong, and then have some fuckboy like Josh message you on Slack, be like, "No."
Cheese stands alone was yesterday.
But you didn't stand alone because Jake had a home run first.
Yeah, you were the cheese standing alone without a home run.
Oh, it sounded like you were the cheese, like the big cheese.
Oh, no. You were like the stinky cheese in that one, I guess. I don't know. Man, I was high.
Hey, Lorenza, stop being a girl. How about that? Don't tell me to stop bitching. I have the microphone. You just have to chat.
Jake, straight from the heart.
Highest exposure players is what I should be doing too. Because yesterday my pick would have probably been a Philly too, but instead it was that fucking asshole, whoever it was who did not hit a home run. Host Golden again, get another question answered. Is it true CC Sabathia is always an elite pick? Yes, Host Golden, it is.
Yeah, when it comes to Spags liking dudes that were good when he was in high school, yes.
But tonight versus Kansas City, I would say he is one of the safer plays on the board.
That is the wrong way to say that, but I have 7% Sabathia. But he's absolutely not a safe play.
He is a very safe play indeed. Hey, Chris, did you guys fill the social media position? No, we did not, Aaron Borchardt, but I think you emailed in Josh, and you emailed in asking for information, which is not what I requested. So the only people who could follow directions are the ones being considered. Send in a cover letter and a resume if you want to be considered to join our team as a social media manager / community manager. Basically somebody who posts all the stuff to social, keeps an eye on all those things, keeps an eye on probably on the chat as well. So if you want to apply for that position, it's standard, sort of the same thing at any content company. And you want to get your foot in the door for a growing DFS startup, that is Awesemo. Email me, chris@awesemo.com. Listen to what I'm asking for, which is your resume and your cover letter, not questions that I'm not going to answer. So please just email that in.
Man, I knew I shouldn't have just blindly forwarded that to you.
No, because honestly, that's part of the test to me. And I've learned that from other places I've worked. Like, if people can't follow the directions you give them, and then they start going oh, can I get more? Like, no, you can't get more information. I gave the information. That's the information. There'll be more information, obviously, if you're being considered. That's how this stuff goes.
To be fair, I don't mean to to be fair. But yeah, I followed directions very explicitly when the post went up on Osmo.com looking for someone to do this. I sent that shit in 30 minutes. Now I'm sitting in this chair.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why you follow directions and stuff. But we did get a couple of good candidates in. So if you didn't hear back from me, the only reason is because I'm waiting to hear back from everybody, and then we're going to figure out what the next steps are. But yeah, email that stuff in if you want to join the team, possibly become our social media manager / community manager. We've got actually a few very qualified people, so you got to come strong if you are a person without a background in digital content. But email chris@osmo.com.
Earl Fountain, not at all. 0%.
Spags would be a trash. Spags has been a fantastic boss to many different people across many different companies, so that is an accurate vibe. I just don't like some people online. In real life, I'm a fantastic coworker and boss. Let's see. The post required 30-minute submission. No, the post did not require 30-minute submission. That is false.
No, I just really desperately wanted to work for this company, so I hopped on that shit immediately. Sent that shit from my desk at work. Other work.
Dreams did come true for you.
I was like, yeah, I'm probably first here, or at least the first person to actually put some content in this email.
and then there were like 50 other people who put nothing of value in, so that probably made you look even better by comparison.
Yeah, I read through most of them actually.
So let's talk a little bit more about stacks. We had Alex's take on it. What stacks are you representing the most so far?
Let's take a look. So, number one stack overall would be the Rockies for me. They're first on DK, second on FanDuel. My number one stack on FanDuel is the Pirates. And then third overall for me would be the Blue Jays. Those are my top three in terms of priority.
The Pirates are number one for you. That's because a price thing, I guess, to get the expensive pitchers in.
Yeah, so on FanDuel, they're like dirt cheap.
That's what, yeah, pitcher.
4.9 run implied total, which I think is pretty nice. Decent chance to win. But yeah, like Jordan Luplow is leading off. I don't particularly think he's good, but he's 2,100 and leading off, which is probably the best value play on the entire board.
He's got some good power. Hit some home runs.
Yeah. Josh Harrison, 2,700. Like David Freese is hitting fifth. He's 2,100. He might be the second best play on the entire board today, just from a dollar for dollar perspective. You can't usually get guys in like the low twos that are hitting in the top of an order, especially when the game total is 4.9. Like they're running out a lineup that I would have expected had a total of like 4.2, 4.3, but Jason Vargas blows dick. So
yeah, Jason Vargas is a very obvious guy to target against. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I have a fair amount of Pittsburgh tonight too. I think they look good. If Archer's dangerous, what would you do if you're a person right now as Chris Archer in your lineups and you're concerned about it being a bullpen game?
I would pivot to either Bumgarner or Folty just to be close and not have to like rejigger too much stuff.
Okay.
And if you have to drop to Bumgarner or Keuchel, I think that's fine. I don't love Folty, and I basically don't have Keuchel, but if I were going with the plan of having a bunch of Archer until like 7 o'clock and like rolling the dice, I would just mass swap to one of those guys and call it a day.
Yeah, I like Keuchel a little more than those guys, I think, than Bumgarner and whoever in Fultonevich. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's a couple places to go there. You know, maybe worth just redoing your whole lineups, especially if you have 150. Just redo them. What's the problem? Do them all by hand.
Yeah. I would love
Noel,
for one of these lineups to come out. We're sitting on 3 more, and that Brewers-Giants game is for sure not coming out before lock.
Yeah, that was another play yesterday too, where Jake and I talked about it a little bit, and I think a lot of people didn't get there because the lineup just wasn't out early enough. But Brewers ended up doing pretty well, especially Yelich, the lefty bats again. Some of these matchup things are very important that we mentioned. Apparently, Giants lineup is out, so that's something. Let's see. Oh, there's a Giants lineup.
Tyler Naquin scratched, so there's a new Indians lineup as well.
Oh, jeez. Love when guys get scratched and traded. All fantastic stuff.
What happened?
Who is the best catcher on DK if there's no limit on your pricing for our boy David Frank?
Let's see. Fuck, I gotta start crunching. Best catcher on DraftKings today. So my highest projection would be Evan Gattis. He's at 8.1. I have 10% of him. If we're talking about just like guys that can be a value as well, I like Molina. I like Buster Posey, Elias Diaz. I mean, Chris Iannetta is one of my quick hits for today. Hard to not like him against a lefty in Coors. And then if you want to go down a little bit further, our boy Jonathan Lucroy and Russell Martin. So all those guys are very similar to me, just depending on how much salary you want to spend.
What did James Lopez asking? Did I miss dongs for the day? Yes, you did. Alex Osimo's pick was Trevor Story. My pick was the number one pick on my home run model, which is the important one. Nolan Arenado. Josh picked the terrible Ian Desmond, who will probably hit a home run because I just said that. And Jake, the baseball savant, who is riding a 5-day hot streak, picked Mr. Gleyber Torres from the Yankee game, which is now delayed. Jake loves picking weather issue games.
Yeah. Dude, if Gleyber Torres goes yard and that game gets canceled in like the third inning and you get 2 this week of games that didn't even happen, we might need to call shenanigans.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe it's some sort of shtick he's pulling here.
Yeah, what do you know?
Kind of antics you trying to do here, baseball savant? Tiers pick. I have not played Tiers even once.
No. Good.
Oh.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I would use my projections. So, like, I don't know. I don't even know who's in the Tiers. Josh, where's the hat? I got a haircut today. I got to look sharp for the next couple days.
Who would be your one-off third baseman under 4,300 for DraftKings, I presume?
Only reason that question's getting answered is because it's Shark, right?
Yep.
Okay, figured as much. I started looking at it and I was like, I'm not answering shit. And then I saw who wrote it and I was, uh-oh. That's not good. No. Okay. I don't like it when my document fails to save. Okay, so that was third baseman on DK, 4,300 and under.
Yep.
So there's this guy on the A's, Matt Chapman, that I think is really good. He went yard yesterday in order to spite Spags.
And Matt Olson, who had a terrible day.
So Chapman is my number one. He's got the highest projection of all those guys by a mile. If you need less, if you don't want to spend that full 43, Devers is close. He would be my second pick. And then if you really want to punt it, I'd be fine going to David Fletcher for 2,700, and then you could rejigger like $1,600 across the rest of your lineup.
Yeah, that makes sense. Dylan C. and Kevin McKay policing BVP talk. Yes, Dylan C., we don't necessarily buy into BVP. In general, the numbers that a team or a player will have versus any pitcher of any handedness will be true for the pitcher. So it's like it doesn't matter if it's Bumgarner. It just matters what hand he throws the ball with, and that's what matters for teams. So I wouldn't get too caught up in BVP. Who do you like on the Pirates tonight? They are your number one stack, Josh, so give the people your Pirates picks.
Yeah, so for FanDuel, it's an overwhelming amount of Jordan Luplow and David Freese because of their price. I like Josh Harrison quite a bit. I've got a decent amount of Sean Rodriguez and Jordy Mercer. Let's be clear here. This is a stack strictly because they're dirt cheap. I don't expect them to be good. Although 4.91 implied total, who knows? But you're rostering a lot of slop.
Here, that's an interesting question. Do you like a Dodger stack versus Fulty Nevich? I know he's not quite Julio Teheran's here for you in terms of your Braves player hatred as a fan of theirs. But how do you feel about the Dodgers getting a shot at him tonight?
I've got twice the field on the Dodgers on DK. I barely have them on FanDuel, but it's not something that I would be like focusing on because of Fulty. He's not getting any ownership, so it's not much of like a ownership hedge or anything. I just like the Dodgers because I like the Dodgers.
Is there anybody who you feel like is a good ownership hedge tonight then? I guess we haven't really talked about that. I think it's got to be the Phillies going against DeSclafani, but I mean, I am biased I would
agree with you there. I don't have a problem with that. You can make a little bit of a case for the Brewers against Bumgarner, honestly. I've got a decent amount of the Giants against Chase Anderson as well.
Okay, yeah, that does make sense. Anderson is kind of a volatile pitcher. He's performed well, but the numbers aren't necessarily great. I mean, similar to DeSclafani, honestly, they fit well together in that price range, I would say. Thoughts on that's a little. We've talked about Chris Sale tonight.
There's nothing to say about Sale or Scherzer. We're not. That's like the least interesting thing to talk about.
Yeah, true. So I mean, you know what? If the Twins are going to have a great night, maybe they're going to be hit hard by the loss of Eduardo Escobar, and they're going to, they're going to narrative it up tonight. No.
Yeah, Escobar season's not returning today.
Damn you, getting the Escobar season joke in first.
I love how many gags we have now.
There are quite a few. Anything good? Yeah, Anibal didn't work out for me. We warned you about that.
He was in the lineup that I won the tournament with.
Oh, that's good.
So, in a way, worked out perfect.
Again, more proof, though, especially in the summertime. Worry more about your bats than your pitchers. Pitchers still obviously important, but getting those bats right going to be the most important thing always. Why not Heaney tonight? Heaney had 10 Ks versus Seattle last time, MXM is pointing out. Josh, your favorite thing to point out, of course, that means that he'll definitely have 10 Ks again tonight.
Shit, can I have those 10 Ks from the last time?
But why not Heaney tonight for you?
Oh, shit. Now it really did crash. Wait.
Let's all just watch Josh suffer, too.
We'll talk about Heaney in a second.
Let's just watch Josh be sad, and let's all enjoy that.
Yeah. I'm not sad. I'm aggravated.
Even
this
better.
Make me sad. This makes me want to smash shit.
Ooh, that'd be fun. That we get some views for that. Could be a Twitch stream.
Yeah, I can't even recover this workbook. I don't even know what's gonna be in here right now.
Probably your butt.
I don't know what lineups I've re-added to this thing. This is gonna be a major problem.
Jake likes Stroman. I like Stroman too, Jake. I'm with you.
Anyway, I have no interest in Heaney. Grades out really, really poorly. Too expensive.
Yep. Heaney also very bad versus righties. Seattle, the main damage they have in their lineup is righties, and the righties they have also from. Let's see. Actually, I don't know if I put in their full updated lineup yet. I think it's the same one, though, right? Yeah, the righties they have in the middle of the order there, pretty dangerous for a guy like Heaney. He's just very, very bad versus righties. Looks like the weather community is worried about the Baltimore and New York game. Oh, sucks. Thoughts on Carrasco, DK? Luis Caliste. I like Carrasco a lot. Josh, not as crazy about him, but I think him being at low ownership and being a good pivot to those other guys makes him look good to me. Probably not a great value play given his price being so close to those other more elite pitchers, but a good matchup versus Detroit. So I'm in on Carrasco. Any convincing for Carrasco for you, Josh?
No, it just feels like an inefficient way to spend salary. I don't have a problem with his matchup or like his outcome. I just don't think you need to spend 11.4 to do it. I've got 3% of him. That's fine by me.
Okay.
Fuck, what's the last one? Was the Padres the last lineup to come out by any chance?
No, the last one to come out was Seattle. No, San Francisco was the last one to come out.
Giants. Okay, so I need to redo Giants, Indians, Mariners, and Mets, I guess. Okay. One thing for Heaney, though, just to touch on that real fast. Heaney, it is a pretty good total for Heaney. So that is one thing I would say on his side. But on the number-wise thing, I do think it doesn't look like a fantastic matchup for Heaney. Just too many right-handed bats for him to deal with when that is his weakness. Let's see. D-backs need to put out their lineup. Yes, Vibe, I agree. That would be helpful, given that we've talked a little about the D-backs being a potentially low-owned value stack to have tonight. Well, not value, but low-owned upside stack to have. So I'm with you there. If I stack Colorado, the best pitcher I can take is Weaver, ? On FanDuel. Ask Pedro Ramos. Who are you stacking with your Colorado on FanDuel? Probably everybody. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
If I had to guess, Scherzer, Sale. Whoa, this cannot be right. Why is Archer coming up 11% on FanDuel? Cheated. Yo, this is going to be a major problem. I'm super fucked right now.
Oh no. Throwing back to a classic Josh stream.
I might pull. I can't even pull my DraftKings entries. I could pull my FanDuel entries.
Chris Roberts asking lowest owned stack with best upside. Our founder, the Mr. Alex Baker Osmo, believes that it's potentially Arizona. So for me, it's still probably Philly. I think Philly is a little too low owned, especially given that they had a massive night last night. I'm surprised that they're not getting chased a little more. And our ownership projections, which are available for premium members of Osmo.com. Weaver and Devers or Anderson and Chapman and DK cash. You know that's not the kind of fun question we like, McCod, but what would you do with those two, Josh? Probably Anderson and Chapman for Josh.
I mean, it's a pitcher and a hitter. Both? I'd play them both. I can't right now. I mean, I can, but like, this.
Can you literally not? Can you literally cannot?
Look, I'm gonna ban either or questions.
How
about that?
Hey, look, I agree. Ban everything. Ban everybody. Just
because
me and you talking.
When we answer either or questions, we're opening up Pandora's box of making people think that they're good questions. And I don't mean that to be rude, but like, especially in baseball, it is a meaningless proposition.
Fair. And usually either or is, we are in the either or time of the show where we just do that to fill time. So.
Sure. No, look, I get it, but like, that's not how we should be building baseball lineups. And I think I'm honestly doing a disservice by answering them because it makes it sound like I like that guy, and that's not the way like I'm answering the question. These things are coin flips. Okay,
I'll allow it. Can we ask one full lineup versus another full lineup? Not in a million fucking years, Zach Jameson.
Yeah, and that's like another point towards what I was saying. There are times where Jake and I have gone through this on the morning stream where we'll look at a crunch and have 3 separate individual lines with different 5-man stacks from 3 different teams, and they all have the exact same projection. It's the same principle as doing like an either or. It's not about an individual lineup or an individual player. It's more of the construction and the logic of getting to that point.
Yeah, there you go. Zach, were you kidding, Zach? No, you're fine, Zach. Don't worry about it. You're still. Everybody who gets on my shit list or Josh's shit list will know. We'll point it out directly. Other Zach is on my shit list for the day.
I want to try to push people to ask better questions than that, because you're not going to gain anything out of an either or answer.
Somebody asked about Houston, and we haven't talked much about Houston tonight. How do you feel about them getting Gallardo? Not in the. It's a closed roof in Houston, so a little bit less beneficial than the open air of Texas. But how do you feel about the Houston stack going against them?
Right along with the field.
Yeah, I like Houston a little bit. Gallardo does grade out to me as one of the worst pitchers on the slate. So I'm pretty comfortable with it, and I think it's also got a little bit less ownership than it should, given that it's Houston versus a pretty bad pitcher. Can we talk through the SF stack a little deeper? I mean, are you stacking SF at all?
I have no idea anymore, man. I might be. I was. Now I don't know who I'm stacking because I haven't even updated a placeholder on FanDuel, and I'm about to eat dicks in the next 10 minutes if this doesn't fix itself.
Like for the live stream?
Yeah, for the live stream.
I'm going to eat dicks for you guys. That's the kind of edgy avant-garde content we're trying to make for our live stream. Now, San Francisco, Chase Anderson, not particularly worse versus either handed lineups, so I think you could stack it however you want. Duggar hitting leadoff or actually still hitting leadoff. I didn't update the lineups. Yeah, Duggar hitting leadoff doesn't look too appealing, but you can make a case for the guys after that, I think. But I still would prefer Chase Anderson than trying to stack San Francisco. Do you like the Indians' top 5 as a stack?
Yes.
No for me. Which teams are you not stacking?
Any of them right now. Here's my FanDuel placeholder. Chris Sale and 8 dudes that don't actually play baseball.
You know who's going to be hitting a home run tonight for Colorado? Garrett Hampson, I bet.
These sites desperately need a get the fuck out of all of the contests you're in button.
And then they would have to pay more overlay, so they would never do that in a million years.
Great. I'm about to fucking hemorrhage a lot of money tonight. I'm really not in a good mood about it.
Oh, man. Well, the important thing is it was all winnings from all your GPP wins.
Yeah, that's not the way that you want to spend your winnings, by fucking flushing them down the toilet.
But in some ways, isn't it?
No, it's not.
It's all about the thrill of the hunt.
No, it's not.
You're making.
Oh, wow. So this sheet that I have in here right now is from this morning.
Jason Sullivan can send you 150 FanDuel lineups.
Yeah, I'm going to have to run 150 train across a quarter arcade, and I don't know what the fuck else.
That'd be pretty fun if you won with that.
Would it?
Like if you won with a train, yeah, I think that'd be cool.
I wouldn't deserve it. I wouldn't even be happy.
Wow. Are we really using deserving as part of the metrics of winning on DFS now?
Hell yeah.
I don't know about
For me,
that.
I don't want to win. I want to win because I think I did something right, not because I got lucky.
But if you pick the stacks yourself, you're still doing it. Like if you
and I think that's lucky. I think picking one lineup and doing well with one lineup in baseball is pure luck. Especially on a 15-game slate. To win on a day like this where you need like the absolute nuts is insane. There's too many lineups.
As a guy who often does pretty okay in single entries, I like single entries. I just like I feel like with baseball too, like there's just so much variance, and it sucks when you're just like, I mean, not when a chalk set goes off, but like I think there's a skill to identifying, a weakness in a slate and then capitalizing on it.
So we're talking about two separate things then. Playing a single entry in a single entry is different than playing 150 of the same lines in a tournament where there's 25,000 people in it.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. It's different, but it's still like, it is still relative, and you still are making the lineup yourself and you're doing the part of it. So that's all I would care about.
I guess.
You're not buying lineups on Twitter from fake Awesimos. Hopefully that guy doesn't watch the live stream.
Yeah. I'm sure he does, honestly. He deserves it too, to be perfectly honest.
He DMs me way too often.
Should have DM'd you before you wasted $150.
That probably would have been a good time to do it. Just close your eyes and pretend you're at a strip club getting a dance with that money. Yes. What a dance it would be. Jeremiah Johnson, you're smart.
Are all these green? I'm about at the fuck it all spot of the show.
Check out that fat bankroll on FanDuel, guys. That's tout money for you.
It is. It is tout money.
Touting it up. Tout that money. It's gonna fill the air with bullshit.
I mean, we can talk now. I'm not even gonna try to fix anything. I'm just gonna let it burn. I'm not even gonna go in and correct anything.
Okay, I have a fun little stack developing right now. A nice little Colorado Philly stack I'm doing on my phone while we talk. So I got two more to get into the table setter. Tonight I'll be in the table setter, guys. So if you want to track my lineups moving up the rankings, feel free.
Mass take out Tyler Naquin, because at least I know that he's out. There's the Brewers lineup, so I hope it's just the same because, I don't want to fix this shit.
D-backs just not going to put out a lineup. They are a little later, so that does happen.
I'm happy that DraftKings and FanDuel both have such excellent sites that it makes it an infinite pain in the dick to try to do exactly what I'm doing right now, which is to just simply replace people. God forbid you want to make that easier for your customers.
Oh, I agree. NBA season in particular, that was the worst. Actually, they gave me a survey question recently about that. Like, do you often feel frustrated by not being able to change players in an adequate time? It's like, are you? Of course. You fucking dipshits.
All right, Rajay Davis, you're in. Please just don't be in any of the lineups already. Like, I should just be able to click a button and be like, oh, these are the 3 guys that I have in that aren't playing. But you can't do that. You have to scroll like a dickhead or put in Roto Grinders extensions and Chrome. It's just like a comically shit process.
Why can't you just recrunch? Cesar Becerra is asking.
Because I can't crunch 210 lines on 2 separate sites in 4 minutes. Doesn't move that fast. I tried starting this at 6:45, and I didn't know if I was going to get it in. Guys, you know what? It's Friday. It's been a shit week. Let's burn it all down.
Let's just burn it.
Burn it all down to the ground.
Hey, I meant a different kind of burn it.
Oh, I'm going to do that in 3 minutes.
I got a free joint with my weed thing today because they forgot to bring an ounce that I ordered, or like an eighth rather, with an ounce. So they had to come back and bring me the eighth, and they gave me a free pre-rolled joint, which made me happy. Urban LA, if you want to order delivery and you live in anywhere in LA, great dispensary, really nice folks.
Oh, there's no innovation on these sites. This is the same look I've had for years, man. It's trash. The UI on both of these sites is garbage. Get your shit together, FanDuel. Get your shit together, DraftKings. I still got Asdrubal Cabrera in. I took him out an hour ago.
This has been a fun show, guys. Do you like Arizona stack tonight or Greinke at all? That was one of Alex Osmo Baker's favorite lower owned stacks tonight, so it's a good one. I also like Greinke. I think he gets some good misses, but there's a little bit of risk with him because he gets hit hard.
So I didn't get a lot of Cabrera, but they did grade out as like an overall decent option. So I don't have a problem with his stance.
You mean the Diamondbacks?
Yeah. So I didn't get to them personally with any volume, but they graded out like team with similar just statistical profile to a couple other teams that I do have some volume on. So I didn't go to the Diamondbacks myself, but if I had the ability to like manually do that, I probably would have.
Yeah, I cannot find the fucking lineup that I just did so I can like import it and change the pitcher, because every time I've played DeSclafani, I make sure to play Anderson and vice versa because I just simply don't trust either of those guys. And watch, they're both gonna be dog shit tonight because they're both very highly owned, and that's how this game goes. But yeah, this sucks. The fuck is Desmond? Desmond.
He's down the hole pushing the button, man.
He's drowning. He's drowning away.
He's drowning.
Oh, here we go. This is it. Boom. Right on time. Thank you. Thank you, me. Woo! Got my lineups in. All right, we did it, guys. Earl Fountain asked, what am I doing this weekend? I'm going to a wine bar the second I get done. Well, actually, I'm going to shower the second I get done here because I actually went to the gym earlier, and I'm literally disgusting right now. So I need to go to the gym. And then I'm going to go to a wine bar, and then Sunday I'm going to get drunk, and tomorrow I might take the dogs to the beach. We'll see. They've been annoying lately, so we'll find out.
I'm going to fly to Pennsylvania for a funeral, and you're not going to see me till Wednesday, guys.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted to share that, but yeah, Josh is going through a tough time, so that's why we're trying to make it a little lighter here for him by laughing at his disdain.
Yeah, that Excel crashing was just sort of the icing on the cake. So yeah, no me in the live stream Monday night. That'll be Jake, and they're going to be solo morning shows, I would imagine, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Internet speed at my parents' house is less than desirable, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Crappy old DSL. Parents live in a tiny coal mining town in eastern Pennsylvania. Not a lot of like awesomeness going on there.
That's sad. I feel like they should throw some coal into the internet and then make it go faster.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. So yeah, I'll still have all of my like article stuff out in the mornings. I might try to put out something, maybe like a minute blurb on our Instagram feed. So check out that. What is it? Osmo_com or just Osmo.com?
Yep. Osmo_com. Same thing on both.
Osmo_com. Check that out. Maybe I could do like a minute video going over. We'll call it quick hits, but it's not going to be quick hits proper. But I'm going to have some downtime. I just don't have the functionality to be able to like host a stream.
Let's see. Steve Schuster asked what tournaments I'm in tonight. I'm in the table setter tonight and the base hit single entry, both on DraftKings. Cesar, yes, it is Rosie's Dog Beach that I would be going to, but it probably depends on how hungover and enthusiastic I am tomorrow because it's kind of annoying to get there, and the dogs are also pains in the ass sometimes. So we'll see, but decent chance it happens tomorrow. Let's see. Anything else? Josh, what is the end result? Did you get any lineups changed?
I got whatever crunch I ran at like 6:30-ish, which I might have a couple holes and not like the most optimal shit, but it'll function. Ooh, come down to Philly and grab a cheesesteak from D'Alessandro's. I'm flying into Philly, and I do get in around 1 o'clock tomorrow, so maybe I'll have my dad run through the area. My buddy that lived in Roxborough is actually moving tomorrow to Boston, so my D'Alessandro's hookup is not going to be around the corner any longer. But
Oh,
I could go for a nice cheesesteak from D'Alessandro's. That's the good shit.
listen, nothing makes life better than a mouthful of sweaty meat.
Yeah, I'm gonna be eating a lot of like crappy Polish type food with my family. So great, lots of pierogies and snow and shit.
Oh man, I love a good pierogi.
That's the birthplace, man. My grandmother would make like 1,000 of them in like 4 days and never leave the kitchen. One of those old school crazy women.
Oh yeah, that was same thing with my family. Also Italian. What's the DK username, Spags? I'm Chris Spags on literally everything on the internet, and probably even including Pornhub. I don't have a Pornhub account, but if I did, it would probably be Chris Spags.
Appreciate the kind words, everybody. While it was sudden, it wasn't exactly shocking. So, Uncle had some cancer shit for a while. Body finally gave up on it all. Don't blame his body one bit. Happy that he doesn't have to go through the bullshit anymore.
The timing of the live chat, like it's obviously it's a little delayed. So you're saying that an MXM says "cool," ha 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 ha. It's like well, a little cold there, MXM. But yeah, Josh's gonna have a tough weekend, but you know sometimes life has to pass to move forward.
Yeah, man. Look, it's I'm not unique. You know, people
We've
deal
all
with this
been
shit
there.
every single day. It's a bummer,
Yeah,
but look, it's life. I've watched way too much Rick and Morty lately to think about life the way that I used to.
Oh, you don't have an Oculus Rift, or I assume you don't.
Not
right?
yet.
So yeah, like, did we talk about the Rick and Morty game and how I played that at my friend's house and how ridiculous it is? on
Oh,
Oculus?
that's not where I thought you were going. I haven't played it yet. I've seen it. It was just on sale recently. I'm gonna have some sort of VR setup for Christmas this year to fuck with like my parents and my in-laws.
Yeah, like I might get a lap, like because I would have to get another PC for that, because like Macs, I don't think, especially this Mac, not gonna do it. But I was sold from doing that. It was a really fucking wild little game. I would worry in like a small apartment, like mine's not super small, but small enough where like my friends also had a similarly shaped one in Connecticut, and I definitely felt myself like about to crash into something and die. So that worried me a little bit. Fantastic game. Same sense of humor. It's really trippy, especially when you pull it off and you're like back in the real world and you're not in Rick's garage.
I want to play the VR game that they play in Rick and Morty. I forget what it's called. It's just like a generic dude's name.
Oh, I know the one you're talking.
It's like Dave or Glenn or like something along those lines. And Rick like takes him off the grid. He doesn't have a social security number and people are freaking out. Morty takes the headset off and he's having like a panic attack because he thought that life was his. I was like, oh my God, what if that's real?
Yeah, that was, and then everybody's watching Rick play and amazed by the choices he's making.
I want to know what it's called now. Just Rick and Morty VR game in episode.
Yeah.
Oh, it's called Roy.
Roy, that was it. Yeah.
I knew it was something generic. Roy's going off the grid. He doesn't have a social security number. What a game, man. That's going to be a thing, right? You experience the entire life of someone as a video game in an arcade in 10 minutes.
And the one where like I think when Morty played, where Roy had a very fulfilling life and died on his deathbed with his loved ones. That also seemed like a really fulfilling but maybe less exciting adventure.
He took that headset off and like the look. I got to rewatch that episode.
David Peralta's out, really? Is that?
Is he the only one? Because like I don't have the facilities right now.
Yeah, Souza is in for Peralta, and that looks like it's about the only change. And Jeremy Lamb was out already. Not Jeremy Lamb. He's the basketball player. Whoever the Lamb is, Jake Lamb is was out before. He's on the 10-day DL now, so he's out.
All right, so Peralta for Souza. What do you think would happen if you did a VR trip within a VR trip, man? Oof.
We might be doing that right now.
Yeah, what if we... I can't get into this.
Who fucking knows? All right, I got to shower and do stuff, so that's that. Oh, ask Elon Musk. I agree, T. McBee. That's one of my favorite theories. Elon Musk says that there's a decent chance we're all artificial intelligence because of how fast artificial intelligence has changed in our lifetime. So there's a very decent likelihood, according to Elon Musk, that we are all artificial intelligence that's from a previous generation, which to me is a very convenient narrative because that fits all the religious stuff. Like, God is just a fucking program, and that's all fine. So.
And then he put in an update, and all of a sudden there went the dinosaurs. It all comes full circle on this show, everybody.
After you said that, I saw like a link from like Polygon or somebody talking about that game, and I was like, oh, I guess this game is more than just Josh in a weird.
Dude, it's sick, man. It's so sick.
What was the name of that game again for the people?
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. So yeah, Josh loves it. Josh loves murdering dinosaurs.
I didn't murder any dinosaurs. I'm really nice, man. I steal resources from planets, and I just kind of hang out and look at cool shit. Every planet is like uniquely generated, and there are infinite planets.
Do you make them create a battery for you that would then drive your car or your teleportation devices?
Yeah, so like you have to like get minerals and shit and build that up. Think of it like Minecraft on like the best steroids ever. Like you have to recraft. You can get like better versions of everything. And then I started thinking about how life works, like how you start off life and you buy like shit Burger King cheeseburgers, and then you get some like Fogwa cheeseburger something or other for like $100 at some bullshit casino in Vegas, and it's like, oh yeah, life is just the same choices over and over again with degrees of like betterness because of price. I'm really starting to just like lop off all the shit that I don't care about and only spend money on like essentials for myself.
Yeah, I've probably gotten there too. Though this week I had STK when I went to that movie premiere, which is like the bougie, very chick-friendly steakhouse, but also pretty bougie and good, in fairness. And then yesterday, I just got baked and ordered $25 worth of Jack in the Box.
Right, like, but which one gave you more satisfaction?
They were both good, but in different ways.
Sure. I mean, like, you know that you can't have $25 worth of Jack in the Box every day, or you're going to look like a very different Chris Spags.
Be bad for my brand.
Right. Anyway, we could do this all day.
We could do this all day. We have to go do stuff. I have to do stuff. Josh has to go figure life out before he goes to handle things. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in this week. We appreciate all of you who've watched, even the guys who occasionally annoy us. Oh, the Mets have already hit a home run. Conforto hit a home run. So there we go. Suck it, Ivan Nova. But thank you guys for watching. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to do so. If you are not a premium member of Awesemo.com, make sure to do that as well. All the things that we reference there, Alex referenced, it's a great way to build, if you do win a ticket, great way to build a single lineup with the rankings and ownership projections, learn how the field's doing. So go sign up for that. Early bird specials for NFL coming very, very soon. And Josh, any parting words before you have to go and take care of family?
I got nothing, guys. I'll see you on Wednesday. I have laundry to do and packing and all sorts of shit that hasn't happened yet. So best of luck, everybody. I'll talk to you in a couple days.
Good luck, guys. I'll see you on Monday. Bye.